under the term Brain Trusts, one word, RAINTRUSTS, or look it up under my call, K4PEW, in the search thing on the screen. And hold on. There we go. We're still not finished setting up here. Hang on. Got in a rush here. All righty. Or on our website, 146415.net, 146415.net, which is some information on Simplex in our group. Or you can see us on, let's see, on Yahoo Groups under MJ_SS. That's Yahoo Groups, MJ_SS. There's about 84 of us here on that mailing list. Or you can send me an email at k4pewarl.net. We normally meet, like we do here tonight, at around 8 o'clock on Wednesday nights and Saturday nights. Purpose of the net is to support and train ham radio operators to have fun. I don't think we need a training to have fun, but we have a net, I think, that's fun and somewhat informative. But we invite everyone to use it to announce amateur radio events and activities. And I'd say the big news for the week is the Ham Fest in Bowling Green, which is Saturday. Saturday, it starts, I think, at 8:30. It's $6 to get in. You can look it up on the web under Vet City, VETTE, Vet City Ham Fest. Also, they got coming up the Chattanooga Ham Fest is coming up too, and that is that second thing. Yeah, that's October. That's it. Ham Fest Chattanooga is 15 days, so it's 2 weeks from it's Thursday. Nah, that's not even right. Monthly co-op meeting. Well, it's in 3 days. It doesn't bother to say the date in our little announcement. It's kind of funny. It's in 15 days, so you can do the math on that. So it's 2 weeks from this coming Saturday, obviously. Makes sense? Yeah. It's gonna, because I'm looking at their note here, and it doesn't say what date it just says it's in 15 days. 15 days, 22 hours, 7 minutes, and 41 seconds. It's actually 16 days from today, which we, I think, put it 2 weeks from Saturday. All righty, moving on. Does anybody else have any announcements? The fact that we've got tomorrow night is the W4C4AR Aries Information Net, which is on 147. Let's see, 147.105 with a plus offset at a 156.7 p.m. Any other announcements? What do you want, Richard?
You don't care. Announce the Tuesday night net on the Weimar machine, please. Both of them.
I do those announcements.
Okay.
In fact, I send out reminders on the every Tuesday afternoon.
Thank you.
Yeah, I send those. Don't you see those?
Do what?
You don't see those announcements I sent out? I sent out one yesterday afternoon.
Well, I do. I see every one of them, but I thought it might be a little bit more helpful if it was put on the air. I don't know.
No, it's all right. Yeah, I usually make those announcements on the Saturday net for sure. I mean, what's today? Today is Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, there is. Every Tuesday night there's also Tuesday night has usually two nets. One is the Bowling Green and 146.430, and that's the Simplex net out of Bowling Green. And then at 8:30 is the WEMA net on the WLYR repeater, W4LYR repeater in Watertown. And that's at 8:30 on Tuesday nights. So anyway, I think most people just get there on the mailing list. If you get our mailing list, you don't have to remember to have me remind you here on this frequency. Anyway, any other announcements? All right, very good. Well, I didn't look. My stuff is hiding from me. We are starting from the west, and this is net number 523. If you're keeping track. Okay. We're taking, what did I just say, from the west. Okay, let's start now. Who's available from the west?
KM4YRF.
Hold on, I had somebody weak signal there, but Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Paul. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I almost took a semi-nap in my chair and almost slept all through the 8 o'clock.
Well, I was watching the clock and wondering.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to watch me.
Well, we made it. That's all that counts.
Yeah, your the antenna fix, the big antenna fix is coming this weekend.
Yeah, hopefully it's going to happen this weekend for sure.
Hopefully, for sure. What kind of a language is that? It's mixed.
Well, I have people I have to depend on to make it happen, and so we'll see.
So you're talking about undependable people, or possibly?
Possibly undependable.
All right, very good. That's Mike. We have a good signal anyway, to me. Yeah, let me know later how many you hear. If you don't hear on that with your single band, three element beam user.
Well, I've been hearing almost everybody. There's a couple people in Murfreesboro that I haven't been able to hear, but been able to hear everybody else.
Yeah, okay, very good. I'm glad to hear it. All right, that was Michael in Belshire, Kilo Mike 4YRF. I get it right, KM4. Yeah, KM4YRF. He's in Belshire. Who else? West, please come. I hear Kilo Mike 4 Zulu Papa November. How are you this evening? Not too good at the moment. I think I'm hearing that call sign wrong. One more time, please. Okay, a Kilo Foxtrot for Zulu Papa November. Yeah, your signal's kind of crappy. I mean, it's got a lot of buzz on it, a lot of noise on it.
I can't figure out where it's coming from.
I don't know either. I don't know who else is around you that would know, but there's a lot of this air. Recently, there's been quite a lot of that. I've heard it, even from stations that are close. If there's a poor antenna, someone's got a smaller antenna, it's close to me, but I can still hear that buzz in this area, and I'm not sure whether it's high voltage power line noise or what it is, but I heard it more recently than ever. Oh, I'm sure it could be. There's no question about it. Like I said, I heard it closer in recently on some stations that have weaker signal. But I can copy you now. You're doing fine. It's just that there's a kind of if you ever hear it on the web, if you can do that, it's pretty loud buzz. Very good. And that was David, right? Okay, David. Appreciate you checking in with us. That was David. He's in Dixon. And that's Kilo Foxtrot for Zulu Papa November. He's over in Dixon, Tennessee. Nice little trip over here from Dixon. You're doing okay in that buzzing noise. You've been better before, I know. So good to have you in there, David. K4 PEW at the Mount Juliet Simplex. Now, who else west? Please come up. Anybody else west? Please come up. All right, then we shall move on over to the south. Please come now, south of 40.
KE4 PJW.
Hey, how are you doing? KE4JW. How you doing tonight?
Doing all right. How you doing, Paul?
You see, you've got a good signal tonight. Although I still hear a little bit of that buzz. Do you hear any buzzing in any of the signals so far?
No. Everyone's signals, either full quieting or it may have just the normal white noise if it's weak. The fellow over there in Belshire, receiving him at around S2 and just had a little bit of popping, a little popcorn on it, but not anything unusual. I have heard some buzzing happening around the 10-meter band, and I don't know what it is, but it's an odd thing that occurs. I've noticed that it occurs at different times during the day, so I don't know if it's atmospheric or what it is.
Yeah, I think some of it is atmospheric. I hear it a little bit on 2 meters on some people's signal. In fact, I hear it on yours, but it's just a little tiny bit. Usually for where you are, you should be, you should sound like you're right next door with no noise.
I don't know. It could be something wrong with this radio. It is. It's a new radio, and last night I got the antenna up, and so I guess technically you still are the second person I talked to on this antenna.
Oh, is that right? No. You've got a great signal. I wasn't looking at the thing now. Here, hit me with your call again, and I'll look at the thing there.
Sure, no worries. KE4PJW.
Yeah, so you're about 30 over on the meter, so you're doing fantastic. It's just that there's a slight, if you hear it on the YouTube thing, you'll hear it. I hear a slight sizzle in there, that normally would not be there anywhere within, and you're only within 5-6 miles of me, and I shouldn't hear that at all.
Yeah, you're full sliding over here. You're 30 over, so don't have any issues receiving you. So it may be something local there. I don't know.
Well, one of the problems with having a really good elevation and a really good antenna is I hear things I don't want to hear.
That's true.
I did that when I lived up in New York, up in western New York. I was on the Canadian border up there in Niagara Falls, if you look at it on a map, if you know where that is. And I had an antenna in the attic, which was great because it was a 2-story house with an attic above. So I had a nice antenna in the attic. And I said, no, this isn't good enough. So I went out and bought another antenna, pretty, 17-foot, one of those 8.1 dB, I guess it is. I stuck it up on the, way up on the eave. It was a nice, oh man, it was great. It was 35 feet above the ground. And then, unfortunately, I could hear everybody in the world up in Toronto, which is a huge city north, over the Lake Ontario. So I could hear people on HTs in their condos over in Toronto.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, I guess it's pretty easy to at least get one country in the DXCC.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it was being on the Canadian border was kind of nice because you had people on both sides of the border, on Simplex and on repeaters. And in that area, if you ever look at that map of southern Ontario and western New York where they meet there on the Niagara River between Lake Ontario and Lake Erie, there's I forget what it is, 60 or 70% of the whole population of Canada is in Ontario. So there's a lot. I don't know. They've got as many repeaters in that area as there are in all of Middle Tennessee. There's got to be 100.
Oh wow! So it sounds like that area right there is fairly densely populated. It is more densely populated on the other side of the border than it is U.S.
Well, probably primarily because of Toronto's there. I mean, Toronto's about, I guess as the crow flies, it's about 60 miles. And that's the city of a couple 3 million. I forget how many it is, 2 or 3 million people. And Buffalo is only 250,000. But the greater Buffalo area, if you include Ontario, southern Ontario, excluding Toronto, probably has, I'm going to guess and say 1 million people within a radio distance, maybe. But what's interesting is, and that's probably one of the few places in the country, I don't know, there might be another one. You know how you have the repeater council here in the South, and up there and in Florida, they have one just for Florida, I think. And then up in New York, they actually have a repeater council that covers both sides of the border. So that's a kind of international repeater council.
Oh, nice. So I guess they're sort of self-regulating as well on the other side of the border there.
Yeah, oh no, they are. It's all very, you can barely tell the difference when you go across the border, except there is some slight accent differences going across Canada. Anyway, Terry, good to have you in there. That's Terry. That's Kilo Echo 4 Papa Juliet Whiskey. He's right here in Mount Juliet, south of me, a couple miles. Great signal. Yeah, it's good to have you on the air. I'm glad there. Which radio are you using? You didn't tell me.
FT991A.
Oh, yeah, everybody knows. That's right. I did hear you on the air yesterday with it. That's right. I was the second person to talk to you.
And you still are.
No, that's a nice radio. I like it a lot. And it's nicely priced.
It's the biggest thing for the buck that I could find. And so far, extremely pleased with it. I agree with that. KM4, wow.
All right, very good. Yeah, you're coming in loud and clear there, Mike. All right, Terry, good to have you in. Again, Terry, it's Kilo Echo 4 Papa Juliet Whiskey in Mount Juliet. Who else is south? Please come in.
W4EBX.
Hey, Eddie, what's up?
I'm doing pretty good tonight, Paul. Thanks for doing that, and hope everybody else is doing okay. And looking forward to this cooler weather we're supposed to get.
Well, tomorrow isn't it, and they tell me it's going to be like in the 80s on Friday. Friday? Yeah, Friday. And then it's supposed to go into the 70s Sunday or Monday. I forgot what it said on the news.
Oh man, that's going to be a cold spell.
Oh, here it is. 84 on Friday. I'm looking at it right now. And 77 is the high on Sunday, and 69 is the high on Monday. I'm going to be running around, put on my winter coats and my big boots and a wool hat.
Yeah, I'd like to have a picture of that.
Yeah, I don't wear any pants.
All righty. Well, it's good to hear Terry on here. I hadn't heard him in a while. So carry on. W4EBX.
Yeah, very good. Yep, Terry sounds good, but he would he's like midway between you and me with triangular there. It's only went a couple miles apart. Well, that was Eddie, Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-ray. He's over in Gladeville. Good signal, good location. He works me with his. How many milliwatts is that handheld you have?
300.
He's got a 300 milliwatt handheld that he whips out once in a while out in his yard and says, tries to, and I can hear him okay, not great, but 300 milliwatts from about 5 or 6 miles away. All right, Eddie. Who else we got? South, please come in.
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Hey, Larry, are you hearing any buzz on the signals tonight?
No, not really. I was listening pretty close for a while ago when you was talking. The guy on the 991 sounded good.
Oh, yeah, he does. There must be something in my area that's making that noise. If you don't hear it where you are, it's got to be closer. Yeah, and Terry doesn't hear it from his location. Yeah, I'm thinking pretty sure it's me or something around me. It's probably a bad ballast or something. You know what I put in? I put in a light that's on out there. You know, I put in a new LED light out in the driveway. I bet you that's what's making that noise.
That could be. We'll let you go. KU4 SYV.
All right, very good. That was Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor, and that's Larry down in Rockville. Who else we got south? Anybody else south of Florida?
Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Zulu. Come on, Paul.
Hey, how are you doing, Tim?
Doing all right. Sitting here on the computer a little bit. Hope everybody's doing okay. Sounds like they are. Hearing everybody just fine.
Yeah, you sound good from Murfreesboro. You doing all right?
Yes, sir. Everybody's signal's coming in here good. I guess all these guys from south, they're kind of close to me anyway. Some of them.
Yeah, it is nice. It's been. I'm looking forward to cooler weather myself. I forgot what it was like.
Oh well, everybody. I don't mind it a little warm. I could stand it a little cooler, but I sure don't like that cold stuff. We'll be talking about how cold it is for long. What'll probably happen is it'll go right from this, and we'll wake up one of these mornings at about 28. Just hit us all at once.
Well, better warn the frogs, brother, before they go into hibernation.
That's right. That's right. All right, man. Carry on, sir. Sounding good. Everybody have a good night. And turn it back over to you. KR4AZ clear.
Yeah, very good. A couple of years ago when we had a lot of cold weather, and then it warmed up for a couple of days. And it warmed up enough where the bunch of 4 or 5 frogs came up thinking everything was fine. And then it froze the next night and they all died. Sad tale, but true. I had to bury 4 frogs. Very, very tearful ceremony. Who else we got? That was Tim, Kilo Romeo 4, Alpha Zulu. And he's in Murfreesboro with a great signal. Who else we got south of Florida?
Kilo India 4, November, Delta, November.
Hey, David, what's up with you tonight?
Oh, I tell you, I've been out in that old hot sun all day and just kind of cooling down. Everything's pretty good on this end, Mr. Bob. How are you?
I'm doing good. You know, you need to put me on the mailing list. I missed that net last night. I realized that today.
I don't have a mailing list. Don't do mailing list.
Man, I send out reminders for your net. I didn't miss it yesterday, but my calendar messed up somehow, and I didn't get it out there. But I send out a reminder to our people about your mailing.
Oh, yeah, well, that's, I wanted to scold you just a little bit for not getting that reminder out.
Ah, why? Was there a bad showing last night?
Oh, no, about then, it was still productive. And, no, sir, I don't suppose we got any kind of a mail.
Yeah, something in my Yahoo calendar messed up, and I didn't get that notice until either late last night or this morning. I didn't figure out. Maybe I just missed looking at it. But anyway, the net went. No, 10 sounds like a normal number. I know it's hovered between 10 and 14 or something like that.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. And we had one of the stations, W1KOM, which was usually right over in Davis. Usually, not a real strong signal, but he got him a tower up and really filled your position well last night. So it kind of worked out for him.
Oh, that's great. See, people do want to improve their stations, don't they?
Yes, sir. And his signal was greatly improved on late, that's for sure. He was able to hear much better too.
Oh yeah. Now it makes a world of difference. I was just reading an article today in the CQ magazine, and it's one of the article, this month's news thing. I get it on the web. I don't get it by the mail, and it's this month's edition was relating to emergency preparedness. Emergency communications. The one article I read about emergency communications, and the only thing it mentions is repeaters, and I'm thinking, how'd you miss the idea that that's a bad idea? It just depend wholly on that issue.
Yeah, that's certainly true. They work well until they don't work anymore. And in an event, about 6 or 7 days long, you got more complications, a lot of repeaters, sales, and all that stuff.
Well, the other thing was they mentioned that some states had apparently implemented a system by which you or me or other people could get certified by the state. In other words, authorized. We could carry a card, and so that we'd be able to travel to do repairs or for fuel or fixing, repeaters. Getting out on the road and fixing things. And I think to myself, that seems kind of futile because if there's a flood or a massive hurricane, the odds of you getting out on the road to fix anything are pretty dang slim, and you just better have a good system at your house.
Yes, sir. That's for sure. Me and a buddy of mine were just chatting about that earlier, and he had solar power. He powers his batteries with solar, of course, and he's going to outlast most all of us. Not many people have solar batteries.
Yeah, that's right. As long as his batteries hold up, in terms of their integrity, that's great.
That's right. Well, hey, you were certainly missed last night, sir, and I know you got a long way to go, so good evening to you. Good evening to everybody on net. Thank you, Mr. Paul. Appreciate what you do. Back to you, sir.
All right, David, you have a good night. Good checking in. Glad you could check in. I was David Kilo, India 4, November, Delta, November. And I normally participate in that Rutherford County Aries Simplex net. And last night it completely blew by me and I forgot. So anyway, I missed the opportunity to miss the net once a month instead of more often. I don't normally miss that. All right, sorry about that, David. Who else we got south? Please come down. Anybody else south of 40? All righty, over to the east. Please come in.
WA4ZHI.
Hey, James, how are you doing, Steve?
Well, I can be expected after all this weather.
I know today I looked over, I didn't know how hot it was. I knew it was hot. I looked over there and I saw it was like 96 or 97 in the shade. I forget. On the front porch, my digital thermometer's in the shade and it was still 96.
Yeah, I try to stay in the house or the garage or the car.
Yeah, well, garage is okay unless you. In my case, I was out there working out on my, rowing machine. I had the doors closed. It was a little warm in there, but I didn't care. As long as I got a fan on.
I might get out in the car, go somewhere, and then come back.
Yeah, you go to the mall where it's air conditioned for free.
Sure.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're doing well. Family's doing okay?
They're doing as well as we can.
Yeah, as long as everybody's healthy, that's good. That was James, Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India here in Mount Juliet. Good to have you in there, and James is a regular here. Who else east? Please come in. Hey, Wes, what's going on with you? You hear any of that buzzing? Because I do.
Yeah, it's just power line noise. It's all over. I heard it. I had to go to Murphy's Road and I heard it down there too. It's dry. That's why everything's good out here in the east.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, your signal strength is barely bumping between a little above 1, but your audio is pretty decent considering the noise level.
51. I'm giving you all I've got.
Oh, you're not giving me your mulberry vertical?
Actually, I might go out there in a minute and try. I'm just curious. Different too, but considering it's a geographical obstacle, and I'm not there.
No, I know. Yeah, I was referring to Wes put a vertical up in. Was it a mulberry tree? Okay, a magnolia tree. That's what it was. It started with a M. Anyway, it wasn't a maple. But yeah, even I could copy them pretty good if the conditions are right, but it's not as high as the beam that Wes normally uses up on his towers. Good to have you in there, Wes. That's Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India, Wes in Watertown, or near Watertown, I should say. Who else, Sal?
No, I'm east. Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo.
Yeah, it's actually east, isn't it? Sorry about that.
Good evening, Paul, and hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah, very good. Well, I see you're almost 10 over tonight.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at that too.
Well, you're not using your HT.
No, I'm on the 51.
Where were you? Did you say you were over near 109 somewhere earlier today on the HT?
Yeah, my daughter just moved into a house over there in that subdivision off 109, and I was actually sitting on her back patio at kind of up against the house almost, and I'm surprised you heard it all, actually.
No, man, I hear everything, even the bad stuff.
Evidently.
even little HTs. Hey, listen, if I can hear 300 milliwatts over there from Gladeville, we're doing pretty good.
I actually heard him. And the fellow that you talked to down in Dixon, the fellow I went down and helped put up that antenna, he's got the down in 510 just like I've got.
Oh yeah, well he mentioned that earlier. And another thing he mentioned that you had gone over there to help him out. Yeah, for being in Dixon, his signal is real good, and it was better before than it was today. But like I said, there's a lot of line noise out there somehow.
Yeah, he's actually north of Dixon a little bit, so he's a good distance from you.
Yeah, I forget what it is. But it's a good, I want to say 35 miles.
I'd say it's further than that. I don't know, but it just seems like it is anyway.
Yeah, it is if you have to walk it.
Do I?
It is if you have to walk it.
Absolutely.
See, now you're going to make me look it up to verify, because I didn't remember how far it was.
Well, if you take the northern loop around Dixon, like you're going from Dixon to McEwen and Waverly in that direction, you'll get to a point where there's a viaduct. I don't know if you'll see it on a map, you should, where the railroad goes under that stretch of road. He lives about, a mile and a half north of that point.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I know where he is. I remember looking at it before, but I was wrong. I didn't want to exaggerate. I hate doing that. I do exaggerate once in a while. Yeah, he's like between 46 and 48 miles from him.
I didn't think it was close.
No, that's not close at all. That's a good signal, really, from that distance, and it's considering it has to go through the clutter right through downtown Nashville to get to me.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got it going on out there, but the strange thing is that antenna's not but about, so if it's 30 feet off the ground, it would surprise me.
Well, he's doing good. Just think, you have to get back out there and double the height.
I'd love to.
Anyway, no, it's interesting that really that line of sight between him and me goes right through downtown.
Wow. Yeah, he's having to fight that battle even you too.
No, he was actually pretty good considering. I mean, I had a little trouble hearing him, and partly due to the noise, but yeah, he was doing fine, really, considering 45 miles.
Yeah. Well, carry on, and I appreciate what you do. Take care of yourself, and we'll holler at you when we can. KI4S, I'll be back to this.
Yeah, very good. That was Richard, Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo, just west of downtown Lebanon. Anybody else east?
Okay, 483.
Hey, Stan, you doing okay? Getting better, I hope, on the mend?
Yeah, getting there still. Going to therapy. I got to work on the shoulder some more today. Seems to be helping. Probably finish out the rest of the month doing therapy though.
You're not, does it get less painful, I hope?
Well, it was until she gave me some other exercises last week to do. They seemed to kind of aggravated it, but she told me to try some things different. So we'll see if that aggravates it. Hopefully not.
Yeah, I know. I've been through that myself. Actually, in some ways, the exercises or the things you have to do to get things back to square one are just as painful as what you had to begin with. I know that with my shoulder from that accident. Man, oh man, it took forever to get that back to square one, and it's not quite there yet. And I still have some discomfort under certain conditions.
Yeah, so the shoulder was left up the way it is because it was trying to protect my neck from where the disc was all mashing the spinal cord. So it's all tight in there. It's trying to get it all stretched back out. I guess at least it's not real fun to get done.
No, none of that stuff's fun. You don't realize, well, lots of people who don't have any aches and pains yet or don't have them at all, don't realize. You can take it for granted when you feel good all the time.
Yeah, regular. Well, I want to know you. Back to that. Okay, 483.
Yeah, very good. That's Stan, Kilo Mike 4, Hotel Quebec Echo, in just north of downtown Lebanon. Good to have you in there, Stan. I'm glad you're getting better. Stan underwent some surgery on his neck recently. And, it's the last thing I want to do. In fact, I broke a vertebrae or cracked one, I should say, when I had that accident. So mine wasn't as bad as what he had. All right, good to have you in there, Stan. Who else? East, please come in.
KG4, KN4LXH.
Hey, LX, hold on 1 second. I had KG4MIZ, Kevin in Lebanon. How you doing, Kevin?
Oh, doing pretty good. Doing pretty good, Paul. Something pointing towards the north. I can't get my antenna to move, so if you can't hear me, I apologize for that. I need to get out there and do some work tomorrow. Talking about the antenna, and go figure, the beam will stop working too. The rotor just quit turning, so I got to figure out what's going on there.
I hear no, you're still 30 over to me, Kevin.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm surprised because it is going up north. I was out there trying to twist it by hand, but it's still missing moving. So, it's not going to work. But, yeah, there ain't nothing going on over here, boss. Same old stuff, different day.
Hey, I forgot to tell you, I forgot all about it, but you know that, have you considered going over to the Vanderbilt dentistry school?
No, I haven't.
They tell me it's either low cost or no cost to go over there for dental work.
I might have to look into that, see what's going on over there.
I don't know. Does anybody else know anything about that? The people over there at the dentistry school, they use patients to do their work. You know, obviously they use patients. I don't know. I might, if you call into that, just see what's going on. Anyway, Kevin, it was good to have you in there. Kilo guy, he's suffering from some dentistry issues, and dental pain is not fun. I know from my own experience. Anyway, that's Kilo Golf 4, Mike India Zulu, Kevin over in Lebanon. Jimmy, how you doing tonight? That is that KM4LXH?
It's a Kilo November.
There you go. See, my memory is fading quickly.
Yeah, I can relate to that. How are you doing?
I don't know, I forgot.
Okay. Well, anyway, I was just commiserating on all the things that are wrong in this world, you know. I mean, you know, we got the H&Ms are horrible. There's no propagation. Washington, D.C. is a mess and getting worse. The weather is hot and dry, which means fall is probably going to be, you know, CRAPPY. and my health, I was told that I got severe osteoarthritis of the neck. So, you know, if you got any good news, just let me have it.
Well, the good news is I've cut back on paying any attention to the news and politics whatsoever because I don't need the aggravation.
Yeah, I'm thinking about, you know, just forgetting about watching any of the political channels and whatever. Watch, I don't know, what, Dancing with the Stars or whatever, I don't know.
Well, in some ways, you know, as I look back on, and I'm not a young person, really, I'm 70. As I look back on things, it's easy to get wrapped up in politics. I've always enjoyed politics, not to argue about it, but I just enjoy it. I just enjoy the discussion of it. And but it isn't, I mean, it generally, if I look back on my life, I go, has it really affected me that greatly that I have to worry about it or get all upset about it on a day-to-day basis? And the answer is no. I still got to eat, still got to work. Well, I work now, or some. You know what I'm getting at is it doesn't really affect me to the point where I need to go crazy. And as long as they don't cut off my ham radio license and my ability to eat regular, I'm going to be happy.
Well, okay, I mean, my health is still fairly decent. You know, I'm getting a lot of aches and pains now, but I can still get around. You know, so I guess that's one good thing. Although I had I don't know if it was a dream or not. I thought I'd gotten a bottle of Johnny Walker Black and got drunk as a skunk. So I've never been a drinker in my life, but that was a weird dream.
That's pretty strange. It is a pretty strange. Well, yeah, I also have the same thing. About when I had that accident a couple of years ago, I was having these issues in my hips and in my knees and in my lower back, and the doctor confirmed, "Oh, well, you got arthritis." I'm like, well, that doesn't make me feel any better to know it, but now at least I know I have these terrible discomforts when I go to bed. If I stay in one position too long, it's painful, and you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know, you just have to keep moving. I go hiking 4 or 5 days a week while hiking out. That's not really the correct term. I go walking. Let's put it that way. So that sort of keeps me loose and, you know, moving along from day to day. Anyway, I took up enough of your time there. Back to you there, buddy.
All right, very good, Jimmy. That was Jimmy Kilo, November 4, Lima X-Ray Hotel. And yeah, I do. That's the reason I get on the rowing machine every day, because it keeps me moving and kind of grooving. I got to keep my muscles up on my legs and my back. It works out well for me. I know it makes me feel better. At least it makes me feel superior, I think, because I actually do something. Anyway, again, Jimmy, KN4LXH, and he's here in Juliet, just north of the high school, up there towards Lebanon Road. Who else we got? Who else we got? Where am I moving? Oh yeah, east. Anybody else east? Then going to the north of Lebanon Road, north of Division Street.
Whiskey 9 Bravo Oscar, Quebec.
Hey, how you doing, Dennis? Your trip went well, I take it?
Yeah, it was awesome. I would encourage anybody to go up to Door County, Wisconsin. It's the mini Cape Cod, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, there's some wonderful places in the northern, I'll just say the northern edges of the border states up there towards Canada.
Yeah, man, we brought back some apples. They have the best apples there. It's big apple and cherry orchards up there. I brought back a bushel, and I hope they'll stay in my refrigerator for at least a couple months.
What kind of apples do you get?
They are Macintosh, but they're way different than the Macintosh you've eaten out of the grocery store. They are the perfect blend of tart and sweet. They're really crunchy. Oh man, they're so good.
Oh, I'm familiar with them. I mean, that's where I grew up, was in an area that was lots of apple orchards and a lot of Macintosh apples and a lot of cherries and a lot of vineyards as well. Most of them were wine vineyards.
Hey, I'm using Bach right now. How is it working for you, and how does this mic sound?
Oh, the mic sounds great. I mean, you're pegging the meter at 60 over 60 plus, and no, the audio is great.
Hey, by the way, concerning your buzz that you think might be from the light, it's not necessarily. Well, from my experience, it's not necessarily the light, but the sensor that turns it on at night if it has one.
Oh, it does. I bought one of those LED. It's got the GE trademark on it, but it's what do you call it? It's made in China, and it's got this, it's got a regular accent light, and then for the driveway, and then I have it on the driveway, and then it's got if it sees something, on the infrared, it actually goes onto a bright light. It's really very nice.
Well, from my experience, as soon as I turned that off, the buzz went away, and it was also not the light bulb, because I took that same bulb, plugged it into a socket on the same circuit, and it didn't make any noise. So anyway, take it for what it's worth. But I don't know about the weather. I kind of like it. It seems like we're getting a little extra summer. It doesn't bother me at all. But that's all I got to say. So back to net W9BOQ.
Yeah, very good. Now, I love that. I was just going to tell you, you have to lock up those apples because I may come again.
I'll bring you one if I come to a breakfast.
Oh yeah, you're right. The apples you get in the store are often they're often storage apples that they store warehouse in refrigerated warehouses. I know they did that up where I used to live, but yeah, you get the fresh Macintosh apples. Oh my gosh, they're just so different than what you find in the store.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, back to this box thing. Are you missing the first word at all?
No, I didn't notice any difference at all.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, it works good. And the only reason I'm using box is I'm using a microphone directly plugged into the radio, and it doesn't have a push to talk on it, so I had to use box. But anyway, good net tonight. I heard everybody except for the very first guy that you said you heard the buzz on. I couldn't hear him at all. So W9BOQ.
Oh, I can't believe you can't hear him. Over in Dixon, you mean? You didn't hear that guy in Dixon?
That was the guy that you said he usually sounds better, and you were talking a lot about the buzz with him, and I didn't hear him at all.
That was Terry, I think. KE4PJW down south of me. He's about 4 or 5 miles south of me.
Oh, I think you broke my squelch once, and my squelch said as low as it'll go.
Interesting. And I'm surprised, really, because you've got a real nice elevation there and a great antenna. So I'm surprised you couldn't hear Terry. But Terry, if you're still there, that's Castellian Springs, and he can't hear you up there. So I don't know. Is there, Terry, you still there? Apparently, something different. Yeah, we'll let him know next time or whatever. Or I'll talk to him in between. I did talk to him yesterday. I think it was when he first got his new radio on the air. Dennis, it was good to have you in there. That's Dennis Whiskey 9 Bravo Oscar Quebec, and he's in Castellian Springs. And who's next? North, please come in.
KB9 RKK.
I think there was a double in there, but I did hear Frank in there. You doing all right, Frank?
Yeah, I'm doing better now. You guys were, when you were talking to Kevin, bringing back some pains. Yeah, I just had to get a root canal and in a crown, and the root canal was not something that was planned. I had to get done. I guess it was an abscess.
Yeah, those are no fun at all. Yeah, it's a pain both ways. It's a pain in your mouth and it's a pain in your wallet.
You got it. I don't know which one's worse. Well, when it's happening, the pain in the mouth is like, just get it. I mean, I was just thinking about that, talking to one of my buddies at work. It's like the dentist really got you when it hurts that bad. It's like you just, yeah, okay, whatever, just do it.
Yeah, I know. And they want payment same day, too. Hey, comment, go ahead.
Yeah, I just had a root canal 10 days ago. This is Dennis, WNBOQ, and I just got the crown put on today. And I have to say that dentistry has come so far because I had absolutely no pain in any procedure. I mean, what hurt the worst was getting the shot, but that didn't even hurt that much. I was so pleased with both my endodontist and my dentist. It was awesome. It cost a lot of money, but I'm good.
Oh, I know. No, you're right. Dentistry has come a long way. And you're old enough to probably remember. I remember the dentist I had when I was very young. I can't think of his name right now. But he had the old, he had a series of pulleys and wires that made the drill go, and the drill moved about 10 revolutions a minute. It had a grinder bit on the bottom.
Oh, I definitely remember those.
You don't remember those, Frank?
Wait to a sadist to a front dentist.
Oh, yeah. Frank, you don't remember those with the pulleys and the the motor, it was a remote motor, and up over that, it's almost like this microphone I have here. It was on an extension, and it had pulleys that ran all the way up and down the thing, and it drove this grinder at the end. It was a really low RPM. It was more like a variable speed drill motor.
Well, I remember that in the that along with the flex with the flexible, kind of like a light boom. I remember that, and I the drill bit broke in my tooth. That's how I know. I had one of those. Now they have flexible drill bits, and they numb your gums before they give you the shot. You don't even feel a little pinch. So I definitely agree. I was never in pain during the procedure, but definitely in pain before getting it. But not everything's bad, and the other stuff's good. And I don't know if you caught my comment, but I wasn't able to check in with the HT from down there. But I heard you pretty good at my brother-in-law's house, all the way down there. He's basically just east of Henry Horton, down there by Unionville.
No, I heard you in there. I heard that Henry Horton State Park.
Yeah, I was on a HT. Just and it didn't have the stock antenna, but it just had the little portable MFG. I guess you want to call it an upgrade antenna. I don't know. It probably works a little better. Don't know for sure. Didn't really do any A and B testing, but I like it because it's more flexible. And I saw what time was it. So I'm going to go out there and see if I can't hear them. And sure enough, I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Dentistry, all the medicine has come a long way. We kind of take that for granted. I know that over a lifetime, the things that we've been able to achieve through drugs and different medical practices sure have made things. For instance, when I had a gallbladder removed 30 years ago now, they made a horizontal cut across my abdomen about 6 or 8 inches long. Just horizontal from the navel, about the midsection over about 6, 8 inches. But prior to that, I don't know if you remember ever seeing people who had gallbladder surgery. They cut your abdomen open from your solar plexus right down to your lower right hip. And they'd open up your whole abdomen. There's some horrendous scars. And now they do it with they punch a couple of holes in your abdomen and stick tubes in there and do it laparoscopically, they call it, with a little camera.
I had the newer procedure done to me. I literally left with 3 Band-Aids. That was it. And I was like, are you kidding me? When they did that to my mother, they did with the old way.
Oh, yeah, no, the old way wasn't comfortable. My abdomen hurt really bad. But anyway, Frank, good to have you in there. Yeah, you're right, though. The gains we've made are unbelievable. Anyway, that was Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo, and he's in Northwest Wilson, but still in Montreal. So we got the North.
WV0 and hello. Good evening, Paul.
Hey, how you doing, Mark? You all right?
Doing good. About to head off to Wichita. That sounds like a fun trip, doesn't it?
I've never been. Is it nice?
Yeah, it's okay. Going out for my wife's reunion, and I'm not allowed to say which one. But anyway, it's not a milestone. It's past it.
Oh, so it's 15, not 10.
Yeah, that's the political way of putting it. So, anyway, I was looking around, though. I found out there's a ham fest out there Sunday morning, and we've got a late flight out, so that might be a good trip. Sunday morning? Where? Wichita.
Oh, there's a ham fest there. I was going to say here. I didn't hear about that. No, that's cool. Yeah, I've never been to Wichita. I presume have you been there before?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have. But the ham fest might be kind of good because of all the aircraft industry out there.
I'll bet it is. I'll have to look that up. I'm not going out there for it, but that'd be fun. It's kind of like I was shocked when I, down in Huntsville because of the, I guess, arsenal and all that other stuff down there with the rocketry stuff. I think they've got close to 400 members maybe in that club.
Yeah, I know it's big. But they got so many tech industries down there that lots of hams, lots of geeks.
Oh yeah, but that's great. No, I mean that really is good. I mean, I forget the ham fest. I mean, just having that many people, on the air for mentoring and asking questions and getting things solved, it makes a lot of research.
Yep, it does. And Dennis, if you're still listening, Eagle River, Wisconsin is where my family used to hang out years ago.
Well, it's beer, bratwurst. What else is it good for? Cheese.
I'm here. I never really went to Eagle River that much, but I definitely heard about it. So it's brat, cheese, and in Door County where I was, it's smoked whitefish, and boy, is it good.
Is that the whitefish they get out of the lake?
Yeah, it's the whitefish that they catch out of Lake Michigan, and it just seems to be really good for smoking. And they also have what they call fish boils, which doesn't sound good, but they're really pretty tasty. They boil vegetables and fish over an open fire, and it's really good.
Yeah, well, it's funny how different areas have different specialties. It's like around here, barbecue seems to be king. But there's some other things too. Well, very good. Appreciate it, Mark, and appreciate your comments there, Dennis. That was Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar. Is Wichita pretty flat, I think?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's nothing but brown grass and tumbleweeds pretty much. But Simplex ought to work really good out there. Hey, well, have a good evening. We'll talk to you later. WB0NOL.
Yeah, with that kind of an area, you just need one repeater.
No, you don't need any.
No, that's right, you don't. But everybody thinks that repeaters work. I don't know why. They do. We have a lot of fun without them, don't we? And we're talking, out 30, 40, often, well, in my case, about sometimes 60 miles. It really is amazing how well it'll work if you're in a good location. You got a decent antenna. All right, that was Mark. Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar, and he is in Hermitage. Who else we got? The north? I think we had a double one more time on one of you, but I don't know how to decide which one. Hey, there's Steve. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing great. I didn't expect to hear you tonight. The band is so noisy, but there's noise in there, but your signal's good.
Excellent. So I look forward to seeing everybody at the Hamfest Saturday. Gates open at 7:30, or 8:30, but I'll be there earlier than that. And I'll be sitting around off 4:30 pretty much.
Ah, very good. Well, I hope to make it. It's a little weird for me this weekend, but I hope to make it. But are they expecting a big crowd? How many do you normally get up there?
I don't know about the numbers, but I expect a big crowd this time.
I would guess that you'd get it 400 or so, don't you?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, that's my guess. I mean, Bowling Green's not a tiny community. All right, well, very good. That was Steve checking in from just a little bit north of Bowling Green. K4, it's Kilo 4 Whiskey, Kilo Uniform, Steve, up in Kentucky. Our only out-of-state check-in tonight. And usually he's the only out-of-state check-in. Who else was out there? North?
For DVB.
Hey, Brian, how are you?
Hey, not bad, not bad. I've heard quite a few people the back so it's kind of things pretty good. You're starting to say hello to everybody and nothing new to report here. That's what you need.
Yeah, I was surprised with the noise level. I'm surprised I can even hear you, but you're doing fine. I mean, there's a little buzzing noise in there, but your audio's okay.
Well, I can't account for that. I think it's normal HD is not big charge. That about 5 watts. It's adding cable or something different about TV.
Yeah, well, you're doing, if you can believe it, that was an S3 signal in that last transmission.
I've got you up on YouTube, so I am watching the meter, so I'll take an S3 by any means so that you can tell who I am and understand my speech. I'm very happy about that. So, that's good. So I tickled that's what you see.
Yeah, very good. That was Brian, Whiskey 4 Delta Bravo Victor, and he is in he's due north of me, but in a bad situation. He's in a low spot, and he's got a limited antenna in his attic. So he's doing great on an HT, no less. Who else we got north? I heard somebody bust a squelch there. Anybody else in the north?
KD4 VW.
KD4. What was that again?
Victor Uniform Whiskey.
Ah, okay. You're stretching my memory here. Kilo Delta 4, Victor Uniform Whiskey. I don't remember the first name.
Carlin.
There we go. Yeah, that's my feeling memory. See, if you check in every net, then I'd remember. I need that positive reinforcement. How you doing, Carl?
Doing all right. I just happened to wake back up. I dozed off into a nap and heard you talking to the last fellow there a little bit. And just happened to catch you when you asked for calls from the north.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I did the same thing. I actually fell asleep. I had the headphones on. I leaned back in the chair and fell asleep, and I woke up at 4 minutes before the net.
Well, that ain't too bad. I'll be sitting here some nights at about 9 o'clock, wake up the next morning about 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've done similar things, and it's kind of awkward when you do that, isn't it?
And it makes you jump. You look at the clock and you start wanting to say stuff you shouldn't be saying. You unplug a lot of stuff and hit the bed real quick, though.
Well, the problem that I have with that is I've done that, fallen asleep. I've even laid down in a bed. So I'll take a little nap at like 3 in the afternoon or something. And I wake up when it's dark out, and I go, okay, is it morning or is it night?
Yeah, around about 6 o'clock in the morning, it's kind of morning. You have to look at the clock to figure out what time it is. I know I have a couple of times when I get up in the morning. So, well, I thought I'd check in. Let me jump out here where you can call some more there. Tonight running the TS2000. I ain't been on it in quite a while, so I thought I'd turn it on and warm it up a little bit. So, anyway, too loose now, and thanks for catching me on here, or at least thank you for waking me up. So, I will clear out of here and be still listening to the net. So, anyway, good night from KD4VW.
Yeah, you're pegging a meter. How much power are you running on that 2000? Don't you get 100 watts on 2 meters with that?
Well, that's what the SX600 is saying right now, right up there on the third shift up.
Oh, so you're doing fine. Now, what do you have up in the air up there? Because your signal's great up there. It's it's like 60 over if you're looking on the meter.
It's a Comet CX333 tri-band antenna.
Okay, is it tri-band is it Comet at 6 meter, 2 meter, 70 centimeter?
No, 2 meter, 220 or whatever you want, 1 1/4, and 70 centimeter.
Okay, I got you. Do you use 220 much?
Oh yeah, I got a 220 repeater sitting out there in the utility room.
Oh, cool. Sounds good. I just don't. The only thing I ever hear on 220 seems to be those repeaters in Nashville.
Yeah, you probably know about that mess. So anyway, I'll clear out of here and let you get the net going again.
Yeah, very good. That's Carlin, Kilo Delta 4, Victor Uniform Whiskey, and it's Bethpage, right?
Yeah, up here in the Mount Vernon community of Bethpage, north. I'm 5 miles up Mount Vernon Road from the Bethpage down there at 31E.
Ah, very good. Mount Vernon. All right, very good, Carlin. Good to have you in there. He's on a CX333 triple band, 2 meters, 70 centimeter, and 220 or 221, whatever it takes, as you said. And it's a good trip, and especially that's a nice radio, and you sound really good tonight, Carlin. Well, anybody else north? Any late check-ins, please come in. Okay, I don't know if that was a double, but the signal was a little choppy. Say that again, please.
I might be able to relay that.
Let me see if I can hear him. All right, all I heard was a Kilo Golf 4. Did you say you can relay that, Dennis?
Cannot.
Okay, let's try that one more time phonetically, if you don't mind. Charlie X-ray what?
Echo.
Oh, there you go. How come you're doing so badly tonight?
I'm driving down the road on an HT.
Oh, that's right. Now you're coming in fine. Yeah, you must have been in a bad spot. How you doing, Chris?
Pretty good. Yeah, I've got the sunroof open a little bit. I'm hanging my HT out for the sunroof.
Well, drive careful. Yeah, I've done that myself. I had a 17-inch antenna or so, and I used to stick it up through the glass, open the window a little bit, let it hang outside and talk on it that way. All right, I lost you on that one, Chris. All I got was I could hear you talking, but a lot of noise. So I'll let you go. Appreciate you checking in, though, on mobile. That's cool. Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. Did you say where you were? Must be in static land, because all I hear is static. A lot of noise. All right, Chris, glad you could check in. Who else is late checking?
Katie for OEM.
All right, Mary. There was another station in there, but we'll take Mary first. Mary and Marty. How you doing, Mary?
Doing great. How about you, Paul?
I am doing better than I deserve. I'm doing fantastic. I just wanted to give you a dog update. That Shug she's every day it seems she just feels more comfortable and running around. That's really funny to watch.
That's awesome. And especially with the heat, I'm surprised she's as active with the heat out there.
Oh, she just loves, it's amazing. She gets along great with the other 4 dogs. She gets along great with us. She's, she's a for a dog that's 13 years old. She's really a very nice dog.
You were glad one. She just adds to the family fun and happiness, right?
Oh, yeah. It's just funny, though, that her legs, see, when I put her up on that, I don't know what you call that thing. It's a rectangular footstool. It's about the same height as the sofa, Like she kind of she sprawl herself. She'll half lay on the sofa and the other half will be laying on that, whatever you call that thing. I don't know, what do you call it?
I think it's an ottoman, maybe.
Yeah, it's a rectangular ottoman. Anyway, she can't jump from that because she would hurt herself, and she knows it. So if we walk out of the room, she'll start barking because she wants to get down. I'll pick her up and put her down. She will not jump from that ottoman. Her legs are only about 4 inches tall.
And your wife?
Say that again.
Have you and your wife been doing well?
Oh yeah, we've been enjoying that dog because she's really just fit in so well with the other dogs and us, and she loves being around us. And if we leave the room and she doesn't wake up, it's fine. If she wakes up and sees nobody's around, she's crying that she wants to be near us.
Then that's sweet. A friend of ours had to take her dog. She's a kind of a rust-colored German Shepherd, and she's 9 years old. Had to take her to bed on Saturday, and they kept her overnight, and she has some liver and kidney problems. So it's a really sad situation right now. But anyway, the doctor's doing all they can to help her out and see if she can overcome it.
Yeah, it's funny how some breeds seem to have more problems, or some dogs seem to have more problems than others. I've never really had that problem with most of the dogs I've had. I say problems with it was because they were old. They got to be 16, 17 years old.
Yeah, well, she's 9, and for a German Shepherd, 9 is pretty old. So I hope she makes it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've given a good share of my money to the veterinarian industry.
Yeah, we have to. I had some dental appointments the other day, and the dentist assistant told me that you can apply for care credit, and it's not only for dental or physical, but it's also for pet insurance, and I didn't realize that. But you can apply and get so much per year with no interest. So I thought that was interesting to look into.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that. I have not looked at it very hard, but I've heard of it. Well, very good. Is Marty there tonight?
He's right here. Thanks, Paul, for everything you do, and we hope you have a good evening.
All right, very good, Mary. Hey, Dave, Marty, what's up?
84BUK. I'm doing very well.
Yeah, that's great. Glad to hear it. And the dog's doing well?
Yeah. One that we got is.
Yeah, you need 4 more like we got.
Now, she got itchy.
Itchy from what?
They said
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Did you give them something for that?
Yeah, they give you what kind of a shot? They short-time allergy shot.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Once we had those problems. We've had flea problems in years past, and we give them those flea and tick medicines, and boy, does that solve the flea and tick problems, boy.
That's really good.
No, it is because it makes the dogs. When the dogs have fleas, it drives them crazy. I know, not that I've had fleas, but fleas can also drive me crazy. Don't like picking fleas off in the middle of the night. You know?
Well, I wonder why.
I know it drives the dogs crazy. All right, well, very good. That was Marty, Kilo Delta 4, Bravo, BQ. Yeah, it's Bravo, Quebec, Kilo, and Mary, Kilo Delta 4, Oscar, Echo, November, both in Belshire. Good to have you both in there. And there was another station in there?
Didn't hear anybody.
Okay, very good. We're good to have you in there, Marty. Anybody else late check-in? Please come in.
Kilo Mike 4, Lima Hotel Golf.
KM4LHG. How are you tonight?
Well, this time I'm driving home, yes, at 9 o'clock at night. I'm driving home, and I'm stuck in traffic on good old I-24.
Yeah, I don't envy you. I know I used to be in a lot of traffic when I lived in the Tampa St. Pete area as it grew, and I never liked it.
Well, it's either traffic during the day or it's construction at night. And so they do the construction at night, and there's enough traffic that when they cram it down to one lane, it's really a problem.
Yeah, so we better get used to it because it's going to get worse before it gets better.
So I've been told.
Well, it's already gotten worse, hasn't it?
Well, it sure hasn't gotten better.
No, I remember back in the 80s, probably early 80s, 82 or so, and I remember the first time I'd really been in Atlanta, and I flew up there for a meeting from Florida, and I remember taking the transit, the little van or whatever it was to go to the hotel, and no matter where I looked, there was roadway construction, all directions. I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen that much roadway construction, and well, you know how bad traffic can be in Atlanta, even with all the roads they have. So they need more.
Well, something like that's got to happen to Nashville, certainly in the line of public transportation or rail or something, because I don't really see that making roads any bigger is going to help.
What they probably need, if I was going to be a betting man, what they need is with those three interstates, they need a huge ramp that goes over the entire city for all those people that want to just drive straight over and avoid all the stuff in the middle.
I've never seen one of those. Is there a city where they've already done that?
Well, in a way, I joke about that, but down in it was near Miami. I forget whether it's in Fort Lauderdale. It's actually closer as you're approaching Miami, due to the heavy traffic on 95. They actually have a flyover. I mean, you are driving south, and they have a lane on the left that you go up that, and you skip about 3 or 4 exits if you're going, closer to downtown, and just takes you on an upper deck for a long distance. And it's almost like you need that here because the intersection of 3 interstates does not help the city at all.
Yeah, I see. Well, Paul, I'll let you get to some of the other contacts. You got a net to run there, but nice chatting with you again. Let's see. Is it K4PW? This is KM4LHG.
Yeah, very good, Brian. That's Kilo Mike 4, Lima Hotel Golf Mobile on 24 in traffic. Anybody else late checking? Any lollygaggers, lurkers, sandbaggers, SDR donglers, scanner listeners, preppers, or end-time survivalists? At least nobody will own up to it. Well, very good. We had one more chance. Anybody else late chickens? All right, we're finishing up at 11 minutes after the 9 o'clock hour. Much longer than I anticipated, and more people than I really anticipated. We ended up with 24 check-ins, which is kind of the midpoint. We've had as many as 30-something, 33, and as few as 0 or 1, like in 5 years ago. This is actually our beginning of our 6th year. So appreciate all the activity, appreciate all the interest. Seen a lot of people improve their stations, and I know it's been fun watching that happen. I know I've done it myself, so I'm glad I did it too. It just made ham radio so much more fun. Anyway, there was 24 check-ins. Appreciate everybody, and 73 to everyone. And I'm going to sign off for now and have a good night. I'll still be on the air, or available, I should say. So I'll catch you guys later. And guys and gals, K4PEW closing.
KM4YRS, W9BOQ.